Hello, hello, hello. Are those my people? Are those my babies? Hello, 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 hello. It's me. Hello, it's her. Ah, oh, wait, guys, I forgot that I had to put on Spotify. Mm. Let's go with this one. Oh, thank you so much. I made that actually. Just let me figure this out really quickly. Cause I hate it here. Yeah, I made that. I sewed the shirt and I printed this one on. It's like a plot. There's like a specific thing you can do this with. Isamushu. Sure. At some point, maybe. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Cassie. Hi, darling. Yes, I did. I did. Thank you. I make most of my clothes. Like, if you see me in clothes you've never seen me in before, it's probably because I make them. Anyways, how are you guys? How have you guys been? Hi, Kwaka. How are you doing? Oh, wait, that is a bit loud. Is that alright for, like, background, like, chill background noise? Is that alright? You're so sweet. Well, let's go. Alright. Alright. Where do we start out? Yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's start with the reading challenge. I'm on the wrong tab for this one. Let me just get to the right window. Is everybody here? Oh, thank you so much. Well, I was planning on maybe doing some like makeup and hair related streams because my friend Emily has also been asking for me to show her, because I do my hair a lot, like very many different like hairstyles, and she has asked me to, oh my god, I think I just gave myself a cowlick, to show her how to. So if you guys are genuinely interested, I would love to show you guys how I do my hair and stuff. Alright, let's see. Let me put this over there again. No, you go over there. There you go. Scenes, there you go. Oh, nope, that's the wrong one. I hate myself sometimes, do you guys know that? There you go. There you go. Okay, but that's why are you being a toxic bitch? Holy fuck. I will take the mod title from you, you absolute sloot. There you go. There we are. So, see, there she is. There's this bitch. Fucking bitch. Anyways, yeah, it's you. Let's see where we are in the reading challenge. My reading challenge says I've read 31 of 50 books in 2024, and I think it says I'm 2 books ahead, bitches. Just flexing. Casually flexing. See, it says 2 books ahead of schedule. I wonder why it has... Why is it so dark? Oh, wait. That's probably better. Thank you. Anyways, 2 books ahead of schedule. I'm quite proud of myself, I'm not gonna lie. I was stressed out because I finished the last one today. And I was sweating. Yeah, Des, why? Huh, I wonder what that is, guys. Oh, my camera is in front of that. Guys, what's that? What's that and why is it... Nobody saw anything. You have to read one more and then it's gone again. Don't worry about it. I don't know if Des is comfortable with that. I don't want to make her uncomfortable, so, you know. Des sometimes reads very questionable books, and I think that's one of my favorite parts about her, is that she is fucking insane. Oh, okay. So Des has had some very interesting ones. Kissing the Coronavirus. And then she has The Second Wave, Kissing the Coronavirus too. What else does she have? Oh! The Corn Daddy is not even there. Huh. Yeah, that's very interesting. There's a fly. Anyways, so I am 2 books ahead of schedule. I'm very proud of myself. Was I stressed preparing this? Absolutely. Yes, that's what the book is called. It's called Corn Daddy. It's about a since Des has read it, why doesn't Des tell you what it's about? Des, do you want to tell the class what it's about? And it is what you think it is, so a lovely young lady. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. Yeah. Meets the corn daddy in a cornfield, and he wants her to be queen of the corn. But she says no. So he won't do the dirty with her. Okay. Yeah. Then she buys a corn and uses it, but it isn't enough. So she leaves her life behind to have fun with the corn god daddy thing. His peen is a corn. Isn't this cum? Isn't his cum... Des, do you want to tell the class what his cum is about? Butter. Yep. Butter. Man's cum is butter. Yep. Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go. Oh, I love you so much, Des, I swear. He's got the juice. Liz has always had the worst luck with love. Oh, Crisco. No, we cannot talk about... We cannot talk about Corn Daddy when Crisco is here. What did I get where? Oh, don't worry. Oh, I was just... What do you mean, what did I get? Yeah, Deshaun. You just go have fun for yourself. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Hi, Legion. Welcome. I just started a new book that is thankfully just a hopefully good book. I'm taking a break from these choices. Oh, that's what are you reading actually right now? Oh, I think there's one where she fucks a balloon. Like there's one about fucking balloon animals. But I digress. So let's get back to the books I actually read and not to my unhinged friends reading incredibly fun things. Oh, peaches and honey. Let me see. Let me just look that up really quick. Peaches. Ooh. Ooh, that looks cool, actually. I'm gonna put this on my list. Thanks, Tess. Anyways, let's get back to business, people. Oh, I can imagine. So, guys, first of all, let me just whip this out really quickly. Let me tell you, your girl got a Kindle because, you know, I get with book club and like me being unhinged, I cannot justify buying as many books as I've done the past few months. And I bought it during Prime Days, so it was quite a lot cheaper. So I'm quite happy about it. But let's get back into business. first of all, we got The Fault in Our Stars. It's the first book I've read this month. The Fault in Our Stars is by John Green. It has been the Goodreads Choice Award winner for Best Young Adult Fiction in 2013. It is. It is. The book does say I'm a dum-dum. And yeah, so I gave it 3.5 stars. Sorry, I don't know why I said 2.5. Because I think I wanted to say 2013 again. Anyways, let's get back. The Fault in Our Stars. Despite the tumor-shrinking medical miracle that has bought her a few years, Hazel has never been anything but terminal. Her final chapter inscribed upon diagnosis. But when a gorgeous plot twist named Augustus Waters suddenly appears at Cancer Kid support group, Hazel's story is about to be completely rewritten. So, my opinions on it. Okay, so I know what you guys are thinking. Kim, what the fuck's wrong with you? Why would you hurt your feelings purposefully? But listen here, Linda. Listen, Linda, honey. Wait, let me put you guys over on this screen because you know, I gotta see what's going on. Also, I want to look at myself because you know how it is. I picked this book up knowing full well it is going to hurt my feelings, right? I saw it in my local library, the one I work at, and I really, really needed to have a good cry. Because life sucked at the start of the month. Don't need to talk about why, it just... Girl. Yeah, don't worry about it. Because life sucked at the start of the month. The book served its purpose. It made me cry and sort through a few priorities and get into my feelings. It is extremely young adult, which is not bad. Just a detail I thought you guys might appreciate. You can tell, like, the POV of the main character is very, very, very young. So, like, the girl is acting very young and, like, very... I don't want to say immature, but it's, you know, very teenager-coded, if that checks out. Like, if you guys know what I mean. It is just... She questions a lot of things, and I don't think that is inherently negative. I just think it's in a very... young way. The story of The Fault in Our Stars is about our main character Hazel, who is terminally ill, starting in her early, who is terminally ill and has been terminally ill, starting in her early teenage years, and therefore very moody and mad at the world. Very understandably so. Hazel is wary because life hurts. She's a bit of a smartass, but very bright, and she questions the world around her in a very teenage sort of way, if you catch my drift. So when she meets our male main character, Augustus, she is immediately infatuated because he is everything she is not. He's very larger than life. He's very energetic. He's very charming. Like, he knows he's good looking and he shows it, and like in a very charming way he's just like trying to get her out of her shell. And she's immediately infatuated by his good looks and his charm, while keeping him at a distance, because losing people, or rather getting lost for people you love, is scary. Especially if death is inevitable. We get to follow along a fragile but devoted young love story, and get our hearts crushed in the end. Which is, you know, what we all saw coming from the get-go, but somehow still hit me unprepared. Because, as you know, your girl's a dumb bitch. It is very raw and ugly, but beautiful and real, and it gets you thinking. It humbles you in the nicest, most gut-wrenching way. If you want to get your feelings hurt, you go right ahead, girly pop, because this is it for you. I think why it wasn't higher for me is I had like expectations for it to be more. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I did cry and it was heart-wrenching. But I do think it has a bit of poor writing, I'm sorry. Like, it just, like, it lacked a bit of authenticity for me. And I feel like I connected to other things more than what the author wanted me to connect to. It is a gut-wrenching book. Like, I really enjoyed the read. It was beautifully written, and I did cry a lot. But more of, like, the parents' POV. I think, like, seeing her mother, like, try to walk on eggshells around her to not make her child feel like she's an afterthought, or, like, she's already preparing for when she's gone, which is not a negative thing. But I think, like, just thinking about having to watch your child waste away and your child having to come to terms with the fact that it knows it's not going to outlive you is just... It was a very hard concept for me, emotionally. Yeah. I liked it. It was really... I think I really just needed it at the time. Like, I just really needed to get into my feels, and it was perfect for what it was, and I'm very happy about it. But I'm also glad I can take it back to the library, because I cannot look at it anymore, because I will cry again. I don't need to cry again. Moving on. Next up on the chopping block, we have Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. What a fucking wild thing to go to next from a child dying of cancer. Let me just take a sip for that. Icebreaker is a sports romance / contemporary romance by Hannah Grace, and I gave it 3.5 stars. Anastasia Allen has worked her entire life for a shot at Team USA. It looks like everything is going according to plan when she gets a full scholarship to the University of California, Maple Hills, and lands a place on their competitive figure skating team. Nothing will stand in her way, not even the captain of the hockey team, Nate Hawkins. Nate's focus as team captain is on keeping his team on the ice, which is tricky when a facility's mishap means they are forced to share a rink with the figure skating team, including Anastasia, who clearly can't stand him. But when Anastasia's skating partner faces an uncertain future, she may have to look to Nate to take her shot. Sparks fly, but Anastasia isn't worried, because she could never like a hockey player, right? And you look like nothing because you're anonymous on the internet. Fuck you. Goodbye. Des, can you block this person, please? Would you mind blocking this person? Thank you. Opinions. I'm so scared of having something between my teeth. I just had food. So, if I was just going off of the back cover, I would never read this book. It is such a bad synopsis for the book. I'm actually upset about it. I'm not gonna lie. Don't be nice or I will unmod you. How dare you. Oh, no worries, girl. I love you. I would have not read that book. Because it is horrendous. But since it was an audiobook, I had no chance of, like, looking at the back cover. So, you know, we're fine. I got through it as an audiobook. It was good. I liked it. Got 3.5 stars. Opinions. After all of the heavy series I went through and the hefty crying session, I needed something simple and easy for in between to just, you know, keep me well entertained but not too taxing, if that makes sense. So when my friend Emily talked about this and I saw it, it was free on Spotify. There was no reason for me to not give it a whirl. Boy oh boy, did this one suck me in. There were multiple late night listens, and I finished it fairly quickly because I genuinely was hee-hee and ha-haing while twirling my hair and curling my toes, objectively speaking. Oh, thank you so much for the Prime, Casper! Thank you so much for the Prime, Casper. I appreciate it. You got name dropped, girl. It got me hee-heeing and ha-haing while twirling my hair and curling my toes. Objectively, is it a life-changing book? No. But did I enjoy it for what it is? Which is fucking horny. This book is so horny. This book is so incredibly horny. Anyways, moving on. Abso-fucking-lutely. This felt like an intense FaceTime call with your bestie that loves their single life and enjoys it to their fullest. It was so fun and stupid. It had me kicking my feet, laughing and cringing. I liked switching POVs. Big plus points also for the verbal consent before any sexual activities. We love consent in this household. You can just see the story, like... Emily will always be... Yep. Emily will always be known as the person who recommended Icebreaker. Where was I? Big plus points also for verbal consent, because we do love verbal consent in this household. You can see the storyline play out from a mile away, but that did not change how much glee this has brought me. Minus points though for the ending, because that was just a tiny bit too cliche for my liking. I wish I could tell you what it was about, but I don't want to spoil it. Let me just put it that way, it is a very sexist, characteristic ending for a female main character. And also, what really grinded my gears was the overuse of the word clitoris. It made my body tingle, and like, I found myself cringing so hard my body took a screenshot. Like, if I have to hear the word clitoris one more time, I will gauge my own eyes out. I am so done hearing the word clitoris. Like, especially in a sexual content. What do you mean you licked her clitoris? My brother. My brother in Christ. My brother in Christ. I need you to back off. Like, just take it a few notches back, you know? Also, the German voice actors were so, like... We're making it so inherently sexual, like, really enunciating, like, the really horny parts. Oh! Most of the stuff you said? He did find it. He was very aggressively finding it again and again and again and again. My boy apparently knows his way about in a woman's vagina, you know? We like romance, we like fantasy, we like sci-fi, we like mystery, we like it all in here, actually. Maybe you could recommend some to me then. But if you don't mind, like, the full body cringes, it is a really fun time to read. Like, genuinely, I had such a fun time reading this. Obviously, because I think I finished part 1 in 4 days and part 2 in 3 days. I was sucked in, like, I was... Don't say it, Kim. I was almost as sucked in as these people were sucking... You know? Yeah. So, moving on. Moving on from sucking. Nice. We have Wildfire by Hannah Grace, which is, not to nobody's surprise, the second part to the Maple Hill series by Hannah Grace. It has been a Goodreads Choice Award nominee for Best Romance in 2023. Sports romance and contemporary romance again. For me, 3 stars. The latest in the Maple Hill series follows 2 summer camp counselors who will reconnect after a sizzling one-night stand. The fact that like, the back covers are so badly written, it makes me want to gauge my eyes out, I swear. Maple Hill students Russ Callahan and Aurora Roberts cross paths at a party celebrating the end of the academic year, where a drinking game results in them having a passionate one-night stand. Never one to overstay her welcome or expect much from a man, Aurora slips away before Russ even has the chance to ask for her full name. Imagine their surprise when they bump into each other on the first day of the summer camp, where they are both counselors hoping to escape their complicated home lives by spending the summer working. Russ hopes if he gets far enough away from Maple Hills, he can avoid dealing with the repercussions of his father's gambling addiction, while Aurora is tired of craving attention from everyone around her and wants to go back to the last place she truly felt at home. Russ knows breaking the camp's strict no staff fraternizing rule will have him heading back to Maple Hills before the summer is over, but unfortunately for him, Aurora has never been very good at caring about the rules. Will the two learn to peacefully coexist, or did their one-night stand start a fire they can't put out? For some reason, that sounds like the start of a very nasty infection down under, you know? Oh, hi. Welcome back, Waka. Yeah. Very, like, putting something like, or did their one-night stand start a fire they can't put out? Like, that sound, tell me that doesn't sound like a fucking infection down under. Jesus Christ. After book 1, did you guys expect me to pass on this one? Neck deep, right back into it, baby. Ooh, I'm mentally ill and I have no self-control. I want to preface this immediately. Don't go in expecting Icebreaker 2.0, because it isn't. It takes place nearly entirely at summer camp, which, you know, summer camp, close to zero hockey. So if you think you are getting a hockey romance, please adjust your expectations. Oh, I'm sorry to hear the quokka. That sucks. This one was quite different to book 1, though the found family trope continues, which I found very sweet and wholesome. The setting was cool, it felt very lighthearted and just, I don't know, a very chill vibe for on the beach, like just when you're on a holiday. Like, I feel like that is the perfect vibe you want for when you're laying on the beach, like reading. It has some quite explicit horny bonk scenes, but I think you can get away with it and it's not as bad as it is in Icebreaker, so you might, you know. It is a quite nice book for the beach. A nice, easy, light read, you know? Don't get me wrong, like book 1, there are some hardships to overcome and mental health related issues that I'm pretty sure a lot of young adults can relate to, mention, and they are trying to work it out. But while the main characters in Icebreaker were good at communicating, these two like to gawk awkwardly at each other and do the silly, oh, I thought, song and dance. Charming, but exhausting at times. Overall, I again really enjoyed the ride, stayed up longer to carry on with it, and had a few giggles and awes at it. I must say, I did like Icebreaker a tiny bit better, though I liked our male main character in Wildfire more. Yeah. So, those were the 2 audiobooks audiobooks. I don't know why I said it like that. The 2 audiobooks I fucking gobbled down. I think that is why I am so far ahead with my TBR right now. Yeah, it was a very fun series. Like, genuinely, if you need something light and easy, if you want to, like, break up your your heavy fantasy series, I feel like Icebreaker and Wildfire are really nice reads for those in-betweens. That is, if you like, don't expect a fucking crazy out of the blue rom-com whatever. It is very cliche. It is very like what you see is what you get kind of thing. But the ride is fun as hell. Like, I was really well entertained with this one. So if you don't like it being, if you don't mind it being predictable, I really 100% would recommend it to you. Especially if you like romance books and like need a light read in between. For the fourth book, since you guys know I've read book 1 on the last stream, you guys already know I started Throne of Glass last month because of Bookclub, so I just had to get right back into it with Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. Throne of Glass Part 2. Goodreads Choice Award nominee for Best Young Adult Fantasy and Science Fiction in 2013. Gave it 4 stars, and I would say it's fantasy and young adult. Oh. A line that should never be crossed is about to be breached. It puts the entire castle in jeopardy and the life of your friend. From the throne of glass rules a king with a fist of iron and a soul as black as pitch. Assassin Selena Sardothien won a brutal contest to become his champion, yet Selena is far from loyal to the crown. She hides her secrets vigilantly. She knows that the man she serves is bent on evil. Keeping up the deadly charade becomes increasingly difficult when Selena realizes she is not the only one seeking justice. As she tries to untangle the mysteries buried deep within the glass castle, her closest relationships suffer. It seems no one is above questioning her allegiances. Not the Crown Prince Dorian, not Kale, the captain of the guard, not even her best friend, Nehemiah, a foreign princess with a rebel heart. Then one terrible night, the secrets they have all been keeping lead to an unspeakable tragedy. As Selena's world shatters, she will be forced to give up the very thing most precious to her and decide once and for all where her true loyalties lie and whom she is ultimately willing to fight for. I really enjoyed this book. You will hear this a lot this stream, but I cannot wait to continue with the series. Like, I'm really, really, really excited about this one. Like, most, if not all, of the books this month have been really, really, really good for me. I really enjoyed my time with them. So let's get to my opinions for Crown of Shadow. Jesus Christ, I just had a stroke. I did not rate it low though, Des. 3.5 stars is not low. Crazy woman. This book, in typical SJM fashion, starts out very buildy and then just whoops your ass out of safety. I was yelling, crying, rolling my eyes as if I didn't see the twists coming my way. And the amount of messages I sent to my friend Des. Looking at you, bitch. Whose favorite series this is, by the way, is atrocious. Like, I think there's a fucking like line of messages of when like I was getting to like the nitty-gritty part of this book and like I was just like hour over hour over hour I was continuously sending this aggressive messages. I just loved it. Yeah, I don't know who this Des woman is. I'm trying to keep this as low-key as possible, recounting. Some covert plans are being made in order to wipe the asshole monster of a king from the surface of this world. Talks about rebel alliances and plans, and talks about some long-lost ear of Terrassen's throne, Aelin Eschreiber Galathinius. Sorry, I don't know how to say that name. I say it in more German in German. Start pumping the air of the book. Some think they are just rumors, some believe in them because their lives depend on it. But until the end of the book, everything becomes just a huge ball of energy that absorbs everything, including your soul. And in my opinion, this is so SJM coded again. Like, this bitch just knows how to fucking pack a punch in the last 100 pages of her books. Rumors from the interwebs prepared me for the twist, but it still melted my face off. I thoroughly enjoyed Crown of Midnight, and I am so excited to start Era of Fire. Just one more thing before moving on. Fuck Kale Westfall. Fuck his motherfucking ass. Like, fuck his dumbass bitch ass face. I don't want to see his dumbass bitch ass face. He is such a fucking hoe. He can suck a whole bag of cocks. Do with that information what you will. Guys, stop. I don't want to keep. I don't want Kale back. Kale can suck a cock. I mean, him keeping secrets. And then, what happened to Nehemiah? You know? Adesua, shut the fuck up. I know you're a fucking Dorian stan for life. I will unmod you. Watch me. I will unmod you. Ew! Don't think I can be friends with you anymore. Ew. Nasty woman. Since you both have read book 2, how do we feel about it? Yeah. Des with her fucking knowledge. Oh, me too. Yeah, for me too. It was really good. I liked it a lot. Like, did I see coming what they were insinuating? Yes, because, you know, rumors on the interwebs have prepared me for the twisty twist, you know? But I really liked it. It was genuinely good written. And I think they also mentioned in book 1 something that, like, pushed me onto it. So even if I, like, hadn't heard about the rumors on the interwebs about a certain alien, I would have, I could have probably had some predictions. Hi, Badro. You missed the horny books. Are you sad? Are you sad? Are you mad? Oh, guys, by the way, do you want me to, at some point, give you guys a horny bonk reading book? You know? Like, out loud. Horny bonk reading? What do you mean? What prediction? Oh, that's very sweet. I did, get ready before stream, so I did look like a fucking booty earlier. But I appreciate it. Moving on. Moving on. My beautiful, beautiful babies. We are on book 5 already, actually. We are skimming through those books today. I didn't have too much to say about most of them, because most of them were really good, you know? Just didn't have that much to yap about, if that makes sense. So, book 5 is A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab, which is the second part to the Shades of Magic series. Goodreads Choice Award nominee for Best Fantasy in 2016. Fantasy fiction, genre-wise, and we got a 4-star on our hands again. Hi, Spicy Nugget. How are you doing? Yeah, let's get into it. It has been 4 months. Hi, Caleb. Oh, I'm happy. I'm glad if you're back, Emily. It has been 4 months since a mysterious obsidian stone fell into Cal's possession. 4 months since his path crossed with Delilah Bard. 4 months since Prince Rai was wounded and since the nefarious Dane twins of White London fell. And 4 months since the stone was cast with Holland's dying body through the rift, back into Black London. No, stop, Badro. Now restless after having given up his smuggling habit, Cal is visited by dreams of ominous magical events, waking only to think of Lila, who disappeared from the docks as she always meant to do. As Red London finalizes preparations for the Element Games, an extravagant international competition of magic meant to entertain and keep healthy ties between neighboring countries, a certain pirate ship draws closer, carrying old friends back into port. And while Red London is caught up in the pageantry and thrills of the games, another London is coming back to life. After all, a shadow that was gone in the night will reappear in the morning. But the balance of magic is ever perilous, and for one city to flourish, another London must fall. I guess that happens to you a lot, Spicy Nugget. My opinions on it. I just finished it today, so my opinions on this are very fresh. As you guys know, I was amazed with the first book, A Darker Shade of Magic. It was really exciting, new, and easy to get into. While I do really like A Gathering of Shadows as well, I feel like it was way slower, so slightly harder to get into and stick by, and you could tell from the get-go it's building for something. Let's start with my reservations first. Delilah Bard's character in book 1 was this badass, looking for a thrill, trouble, trouble, or both, a tomboyish kind of baddie that didn't shy away from conflict or a proper fist fight, which she still continues to be in this one, but it has more of a taste of I'm not like the other girls, which is honestly kind of a bummer. She catches herself again though, so I can forgive and forget because I love Lila from the bottom. I love Lila from the bottom of my heart. And let's be real for a sec, we all have been a little bit Delulu and had our little pick-me moments, right? She's also carrying the plot on her bad bitch back, you know? Delulu is the Sululu, you get it, Badro. She's really... I think it's just one part that really pissed me off was like when her and her captain were at a market and she looked at the knives because our girl loves a good knife, you know? As everybody does. He was like, oh, other girls will be looking at dresses. And her response is just like, I'm not like the other girls. Is that necessary? Ew. I 100% agree with you on that one, Pedro. Anyways, that just kind of pissed me, like that just rubbed me the wrong way. She caught herself quite quickly again and she was like back to being a complete menace and like unpredictable, and I just love her like to pieces. That just was like a kind of odd moment because why would you say that? Like nobody says that. IRL, except if you're like an actual child. I'm also not very keen on the fact that somehow everyone is having a thing with everyone. And you guys know for a fact I'm not sex negative. Like, you guys know I love a good, like, circle jerk, if you will. No. No. You will get a bonk. If I hear you say that ever again, you will get a bonk. No! Shh! I said nothing. Don't worry about it. But it just felt kind of random and weird, and some relations were, of course, weirder than others. But yeah, odd choice. But I digress. Let's get back to what is amazing about this book. Schwab's strength is crafting scenes with both description and tension, and she is flexing that talent. Once more, going through with A Gathering of Shadows. I could see the market built into the cliff in Sazenroche. I wandered through Red London, saw in front of my very eye the changes made in White London. She builds... Fuck me. Oh. You scared the fuck out of me, Spicy Nugget. How dare you? You scared the ever-loving fucking heebie-jeebies out of me. I swear I need to make like a cut scenes, like a cut video of me like getting scared every time like one of my alarms pop. Fuck, I'm dizzy now. Jesus Christ. I could see the market built into the cliff in Sazenroche. I wandered through Red London, saw in front of my very eye the changes made in White London. She builds a world for those who admire and crave imagination. Alternate Londons, some with magic and some without, magic wielders, evil rulers, pirates, and in this piece, a magical tournament called the Essentush. Schwab uses this tournament to draw the characters together, to create action and excitement, whilst behind it all, there is an all-destroying darkness looming, waiting. The end made my heart beat faster, and I'm aware of how often I have said this today, but I cannot wait to get into the last book. Right? Yeah, same. I get it. My alarms are very alarming, but that's what they're here for. This book, this thing makes me miss Neek, actually. Neek loves this book, and I miss Neek. I'm glad you guys are here, though, to share this with me. Also, I loved Rotterdam. Rotterdam was amazing. So yeah. Where's T, actually? Has anyone in chat read the book for book club this month, or is it just me? Just so I know how to present this. Could you summon T? That would be amazing. I mean, it's fine. Like, it's not mandatory. Oh, Legion, don't worry about it. It's, like, no worries at all. Like, as I said, like, it's not a you have to read it. It's just, if I know, like, other people in chat have not read it, I will not mention certain things, if that makes sense. Because there is, like, a whole different ballpark of, like, a discussion being had about a book and like me presenting a book, and I don't mind at all just presenting the book, so people that have like not been aware that this was book club book can still read it with like out having any spoilers or pretenses. I would have just need to know beforehand, if that makes sense, and it's perfectly fine. So do I wait for tea? Do I wait for my girl tea? Yes, please, Nugget. Go on. Oh, I appreciate you, Badro. Thank you. I know T has read it, so it would be nice to like have somebody to discuss. Oh, sorry. I have a lot of prepping to do. Anyways, let me start so people are on the same... Yeah. Why wouldn't it be? Badro loves the people I love, you know? So we're always hanging out in like the same sort of group. Yeah, let me start with book club book, just so we get like the back of the book kind of out of the way and like to know where we're at. Book club book of the month was One Dark Window by Rachel Gillick. It's a fantasy romance. I gave it 4 stars. Oh, that sounds really cool, actually. Spicy. Yeah. Book of the month, One Dark Window. By Rachel Gillick, fantasy romance. I can hear. That is beautiful. Hi, T. How are you doing, my girl? I was just going to start, like, ask if people have read One Dark Window, and I know you did. And I was just wondering if you wanna, like, yap about it for a bit. Yeah. Elspeth needs a monster. The monster might be her. Elspeth Spindle needs more than luck to stay safe in the eerie, mist-locked kingdom of Blunder. She needs a monster. She calls him the Nightmare, an ancient mercurial spirit trapped in her head. He protects her. He keeps her secrets. But nothing comes for free, especially magic. When Elspeth meets a mysterious highwayman on the forest road, her life takes a drastic turn. Thrust into a world of shadow and deception, she joins a dangerous quest to cure Blunder from the dark magic infecting it. And the highwayman? He just so happens to be the king's nephew, captain of the most dangerous men in Blunder, and guilty of high treason. Together they must gather 12 Providence cards, the key to the cure. But as the stakes heighten and their undeniable attraction intensifies, Elspeth is forced to face her darkest secret yet. The nightmare is slowly taking over her mind, and she might not be able to stop him. Really, it has such a nice cliffhanger, but the German version only comes out in October, so I'm quite pumped about it. I liked it a lot. So let me start off by this. I liked it a lot. But I do think let me get to my thing first, and then we'll talk about it. So this one was one of my most anticipated reads for this year. I was pumped about this since I first heard about it on TikTok. Everybody and their mom raved about it. So when the occasion to suggest it for book club arose, I took it. First off, I need to talk about the dedication. Oh. Who's Leonie? Interesting. I like Elm. First off, I need to talk about the dedication to the quiet girls with stories in their head, to their dreams and their nightmares. Bro, my mouth does not want to do the mouth things. Let me start again. The dedication is to the quiet girls with stories in their heads, to their dreams and their nightmares. Hello? Yes, please. The cover art, the attention to detail, and the design. Like, look at this. Yeah. This is beautiful. Like, there's cards at every start of the chapter. Like, it is such a beautiful design. It is absolutely glorious. I am so obsessed with this book. Like, sometimes even twin cards. It is so pretty. Like, for the cover art and stuff alone, it is just so beautiful. It gives off the exact vibe. The cover art, the attention to detail and design, beautiful. It really sets the tone for the story. The book started out quite slow. I liked the world building and the riddles, but I think the magic system was my favorite part. The concept of nothing is free, nothing is safe, magic is love, but also it's hate. It comes at a cost. You're found and you're lost. Magic is love, but also it's hate. is so fresh and new. I was really intrigued by it. One Dark Window has a very dark gothic touch, and I was mesmerized by the atmosphere, especially towards the end of the book. Considering it ends on a disgraceful cliffhanger, and the German version of part 2 is only due in October, I want to gauge my own eyes out. Color me pumped as fuck, would definitely recommend. So yeah, I think it's quite slow, but I do think it could have been more, if that makes sense. Like, from what I've heard from other people, I was expecting more. Like, I think my expectations were just set too high. Because it is a really good book. Like, don't get me wrong, it is... The atmosphere is beautiful. The art in it of itself, of like writing a book like this, is beautiful because there's so much thought and detail behind it. It's really, really, really good. But from what I've heard from other people, I somehow expected it to be even more, like just up it a notch. I was very hooked, don't get me wrong. The atmosphere, I think, was what caught me the most, and I found myself connecting to the characters, but not as much as I wanted to. Like, I think they could have upped it a notch. I do, however, really like the female main character. I like that it is neither a damsel in distress book nor a superhuman female MC that is just beating everybody's booty left, right, and center, if that makes sense. It is very, like, balanced, and it does fit with the theme, because the theme of this book is basically everything needs, like, a counterpole. Like, everything is, like... Everything needs the counterpart kind of thing, and I feel like it does, like... Sorry, my brain's completely out of it. It does show that in a female main character as well, and that is what I really enjoy. Furthermore, there's a horny scene in there. It is inherently a horny scene, but is not a bonk scene. You know, it is not super explicit, but, you know, you can tell they're fucking. So that's nice. It has me pumped for the next part of... yeah, it has me very pumped for the next part. And I'm really, really, really excited about it. Thank you so much for coming by the way, T. I really appreciate you coming over. Yipping with me. We need to do some gaming soon. So... Those were my books I've read this month already. That was going by quite fast. Again, I think it was because I didn't have too much to say about, like, negative to say, because I feel like when you read a good book, there is, like, nothing you can really, like, say that is not going to inherently, like, spoil some of the plot. So I'm trying to keep it as, like, slow, like, low and informative as possible without giving too much away. But with bad books, I can just, like, blurt out everything that's shit. And it's just so much fun to write shitty reviews. Anyways. On the menu, as book of the month for July. I got you. Maybe you've seen it in, like, the roll-through things. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Exactly. The entire series, to be specific, by Holly Jackson. It's a young adult / mystery. I gave 4 stars for book 1, 4.5 stars for the whole series, like for all 3, like the whole story. And for book 3, which is my favorite, I gave 5 stars. It's my second 5-star rating this year. So let's get into the story for this one. I got a lot to read for you still. Everyone in Fairview knows the story. Pretty unpopular high school senior Andy Bell was murdered by her boyfriend Sal Singh, who then killed himself. It was all anyone could talk about. And 5 years later, Pip sees how the tragedy still haunts her town. But she can't shake the feeling that there was more to what happened that day. She knew Sal when she was a child, and he was always so kind to her. How could he possibly have been a killer? Now a senior herself, Pip decides to re-examine the closed case for her final project. At first just to cast doubt on the original investigation, but soon she discovers a trail of dark secrets that might actually prove Sal innocent. And the line between past and present begins to blur. Someone in Fairview doesn't want Pip digging around for answers, and now her own life might be in danger. With this one, I feel like the back covers of book 2 and 3 give away too much of the main story, so I don't really want to touch on those. I thought I will just give you the first one, my opinions on all three of them, and then read you parts of the first one just to be safe and not spoil anything for you guys. My opinions. Boy oh boy, where do I start with this one? As you guys know, I'm an avid enjoyer of Spotify's free audiobooks, and I was quite new to the thing. So when I saw they had the whole A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series on there, I was smitten and started immediately. And guys, I genuinely think this has been my favorite series I have finished this far into the reading challenge. It is incredibly well made and creepy and realistic. I was so hooked on it. The storytelling is exceptional, the plot keeps you hooked, the character development is fantastic, the pacing is fast and heart-pounding, and the ending is immensely satisfying. And that's just me talking about book 1. It gets better with every single book, in my opinion. In Good Girl Bad Blood, Pip tries to get her life back into her normal routine. She promises herself not to get obsessed with another case and live her life as a normal young adult, attending the memorial of Sal and Andy, where she finds herself dragged into Jamie Reynolds' case, one of her high school friends, Connor's older brother. Connor begs her for her help, and she reluctantly agrees. Pip has no idea what the young man's disappearance will bring out. More terrifying secrets of the town. Fishnetting online sites. More secrets. Pip finds herself playing an even more dangerous game that will drive her to the edge, to tremendous troubles, no safety net. Not even her loved ones can help her this time. For as good as that, I'm not even gonna start. You will have to figure that one out by yourself. Just know it's hands down my favorite. This series robbed me of sleep, got me a few more gray hairs, and it rekindled my passion for creepy books. I loved it. Please go and read, my children. Because this is murder mystery, I had a bit of a difficult time with picking passages to read to you guys, especially because I would hate to spoil anything, so I'm only going to give you parts of book 1 to not unintentionally throw you off. One. Everybody's favorite part. We're reading that. Pip knew where they lived. Everyone in Little Kilton knew where they lived. Their home was like the town's haunted house. People's footsteps quickened as they walked by, and their words strangled and died in their throats. Shrieking children would gather on their walk home from school, daring one another to run up and touch the front gate. But it wasn't haunted by ghosts, just 3 sad people trying to live their lives as before. As a house not haunted by flickering lights or spectral falling chairs, but by dark spray painted letters of Scum Family and stone-shattered windows. Pip has always wondered why they didn't move. Not that they had to. They hadn't done anything wrong, but she didn't know how they lived like that. Pip knew a great many things. She knew that babies were born without kneecaps. She knew verbatim the best quotes for Plato and Cato, and that were more than 4,000 types of potato. But she didn't know how the things found the strength to stay here. Here, in Kilton, under the weight of so many widened eyes, of the comments whispered just loud enough to be heard, of neighborly small talk never stretching into long talks anymore. It was particular cruelty that their house was so close to Little Kilton Grammar School, where both Andy Bell and Sel Singh had gone, where Pip would return for her final year in a few weeks when the August pickled sun dipped into September. Pip stopped and rested her hand on the front gate, instantly braver than half of the town's kids. Her eyes traced up the path to the front door. It might only look like a few feet, but there was a rumbling chasm between where she stood and over there. It was possible that this was a very bad idea. She had considered that. The morning sun was hot, and she could already feel her knee pits growing sticky in her jeans. A bad idea or a bold idea? And yet history's greatest minds always advised bold over safe. Their words, good padding for even the worst ideas. Snubbing the chasm with the soles of her shoes, she walked up to the door and, pausing for just a second to check she was sure, knocked 3 times. Her tense reflection stared back at her. The long dark hair, sun-dyed a lighter brown at the tips. The pale face, despite a week just spent in the south of France. The sharp, muddy green eyes, braced for impact. The door opened with the clatter of a falling chain and a double-locked click. "Hello?" he said, holding the door half open, his hand folded over the side. Pip blinked to break her stare, but she couldn't help it. He looked so much like Sel. The Sel she knew from all those television reports and newspaper pictures. Sorry. The Sel fading from her adolescent memory. Ravi had his brother's messy black side-swept hair, thick arched eyebrows, and oaken-hued skin. "Hello?" he said again. Pip's put-on-the-spot charmer reflex kicked in too late. Her brain was busy processing that, unlike Sel, he had a dimple in his chin, just like hers, and he'd grown even taller since she last saw him. Sorry, hi." She did an awkward half-wave that she immediately regretted. "Yes, Dad, I am. It is very exhausting to yap for 3 hours straight." "Don't bully me. I don't like to be bullied." Anyways. Sorry, hi. She did an awkward half-smile that half-wave that she immediately regretted. "Hi?" "Hi, Ravi," she said. You don't know me. I'm Pippa Fitzamobi. I was a couple of years below you at school before you left." "Okay." "I was just wondering if I could borrow a jiffy of your time." "Well, not a jiffy. Did you know a jiffy is an actual measurement of time? It's 1/100th of a second, so can you maybe spare a few sequential jiffies?" Oh god, this is what happened when she was nervous or backed into a corner. She started spewing useless facts dressed up as a bad joke. And the other thing, nervous Pip turned 4 strokes more posh, abandoning middle class to grapple for a poor imitation of upper. When had she ever seriously said jiffy before? What? Oh. Okay, I guess fuck me then. Thank you for lurking. When had she ever seriously said jiffy before? What? What's happening? Dom? Are you turning around with your... Give me a sec, guys. Hi, Erdem. When had she ever said... When had she ever seriously said Jiffy before? What? Ravi asked, looking confused. Sorry, never mind, Pip said, recovering. So, I'm doing my EPQ at school and... What's EPQ? Extended Project Qualification. It's a project you work on independently alongside A-levels. You can pick any topic you want. Oh, I never got that far in school, he said. Left as soon as I could. Well, I was wondering if you'd be willing to be interviewed for my project. What is it about? His dark eyebrows hugged closer to his eyes. It's about what happened 5 years ago. Ravi exhaled loudly, his lip curling up in what looked like pre-sprung anger. Why? He said. Because I don't think your brother did it, and I'm going to try to prove it. I'm doing alright. Yeah, it's really odd. Let's move on to chapter 9. They probably thought she couldn't hear them, her parents bickering in the living room downstairs. She had long ago learned that the word Pip was one that traveled exceptionally well through walls and floors. Listening through the cracks of her bedroom door, it wasn't hard to catch hold of snatches and shape them into a gist. Her mom wasn't happy that Pip was spending so much of her summer on schoolwork. Her dad wasn't happy that her mother had said that. Then her mom wasn't happy because her dad had misunderstood what she meant. She thought that obsessing over the Andy Bell thing would be unhealthy for her. Her dad wasn't happy that her mom wouldn't give Pip the space to make her own mistakes if that's what they were. Pip grew bored of the sparring match and closed her bedroom door. She knew their cynical argument would burn itself out soon, without neutral intervention, and she had an important phone call to make. She had private messaged both of Andy's best friends last week. Emma Hutton replied a few hours ago with a phone number saying she didn't mind answering just a few questions at 8 o'clock tonight. When Pip told Ravi this, he texted back with a whole page of shock face and fist bump emojis. She glanced at the clock on her computer dashboard and the glance became a stare. The clock stood stubbornly at 7:58 p.m. Oh, come on, she said. Even after 20 Mississippis, the 8 in the 58 hadn't sprung into a leg of a 9. When it did, an age later, Pip said, "Close enough," and pressed the record button on her app. She dialed Emma's number, her skin prickling with nerves. It picked up on the third ring. "Hello?" said a high and sweet voice. "Hi, Emma. This is Pippa here." "Oh yeah, hi. Hold on, let me just go up to my room." Pip listening impatiently to the sound of Emma's feet skipping up a flight of stairs. "Okay," she said. "So you said you're doing a project about Andy?" "Sort of, yeah. About the investigation into her disappearance and the media's role in it. A kind of case study." "Okay," Emma said, sounding uncertain. "I'm not sure how much help I can be with that." "Don't worry, I just have a few basic questions about the investigation as you remember it," Pip said. "So firstly, when did you find out that she was missing?" It was around 1 o'clock at night. Her parents rang both me and Chloe Birch. We were Andy's best friends. I said how I hadn't seen her or heard from her, and told them I would call around a bit. I tried Selsing that night, but he didn't pick up until the next morning. Did the police contact you Did the police contact... Something's going on with my PC right now and I don't understand what it is. Moving on. Did the police contact you at all? Asked Pippa. Yeah, Saturday morning. They came around asking questions. And what did you tell them? Just the same as I said to Annie's parents, that I had no idea where she was. She hadn't told me she was going anywhere. And they were asking about Annie's boyfriend, so I told them about Sal, and that I had just rung and told him she was missing. What did you tell them about Sal? Well, only that at school that week they were kind of fighting. I definitely saw them bickering on the Thursday and Friday, which was out of the ordinary. Usually Andy bickered at him and he didn't get involved, but this time he seemed super mad about something. What about? Pip said. It was suddenly clearer to her why the police might have thought it prudent to interview Sal that afternoon. I don't know, honestly. When I asked Andy, she just said that Sal was being a little bitch about something. Pip was taken aback. Okay, she said. So Andy didn't have plans to see Sal on the Friday? No, she didn't have plans to do anything, actually. She was supposed to stay at home that night. Oh, how come? Pip sat up a little straighter. I don't know if I should say. Don't worry, Pip tried to hide the desperation in her voice. If it's not relevant, it won't go in my project. It just might help me better understand the circumstances of her disappearance. Yeah, okay. Well, Andy's little sister Becca had been hospitalized for self-harming several weeks before. Her parents had to go out, so they told Andy she had to stay in and take care of Becca. Oh, was all Pip could think to say. Yeah, I know, poor girl. And still Andy left her. Only looking back now, I can understand how difficult it must have been having Andy as an older sister. To have Andy as an older sister. Where is that? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? It's just, I don't want to speak ill of the dead, you know, but I've had 5 years to grow up and reflect on everything, and when I think back to those times, I don't like the person I was at all. The person I was with Andy. Was she a bad friend to you? Pip didn't want to say too much. She needed to keep Emma talking. Yes and no. It's really difficult to explain, Emma sighed. Andy's friendship was very destructive, but at the time I was addicted to her. I wanted to be her. You're not going to write any of this, are you? No, of course not. Small lie. Okay, so Andy was beautiful. She was popular. She was fun. Being her friend, being someone she chose to spend her time with, it made you feel special. Wanted. And then she would flip and use the things you were most self-conscious about to cut you down and hurt you. And still we both remained by her side, waiting for the next time she would pick us up and make us feel good again. She could be amazing and awful, and you never knew which side of Andy was turning up at your door. I'm surprised my self-esteem even survived. Was Andy like this with everyone? Well, yeah, to me and Chloe. Andy wouldn't let us go over to her house much, but I saw the way she was with Becca too. She could be so cruel. Emma paused. I'm not saying any of these because I mean that Andy deserved what she got. No, that's not what I mean at all. No one deserves to be murdered and put in a hole. I only mean that appreciating now the kind of person Andy was, I can understand why Sal snapped and killed her. She could make you feel so high and then so low. It was bound to end in a tragedy, I think. Emma's voice slipped into a wet sniff, and Pip knew the interview was over. Emma couldn't hide the fact that she was crying, and she didn't try to. Okay, those are all the questions I have. Thank you so much for your time. That's okay, Emma said. Sorry, I thought I was over everything. Guess not. No, I'm sorry for making you go over it all. Actually, I've also messaged Chloe Birch for an interview, but she hasn't got back to me yet. Are you two still in contact? No, not really. Like, I'll message her on her birthday, but we definitely drifted after Andy and then leaving school. I think we both wanted it that way, really, a clean break from the people we had been back then. Pip thanked her again and then hung up the phone. She exhaled and just stared at it for a minute. She knew that Andy had been pretty and popular, media that much social media had made perfectly clear. And like everyone that's ever been to high school, she knew that popular people sometimes had their hard edges. But she hadn't expected this, that Emma could still resent her after all this time for loving her tormentor. Was this the real Andy Bell, hiding behind that perfect smile, behind those sparkling, pale blue eyes? Everyone in her orbit so dazzled by her, so blinded that they didn't even notice the darkness that might lurk beneath. Not until it was too late. Last chapter, guys. 11. Where? Connor mouthed, his eyes narrowing as they held Pip's. My 10 o'clock, she whispered. Fear, like a blistering frost, dripped into her stomach. Wide eyes spread like a contagion around the circle. And then, with an eruption of sound, Connor grabbed a torch and sprang to his feet. Hey, pervert! He yelled with unlikely courage. He sprinted out of the marquee and into the darkness, the light beam swinging wildly in his hand as he ran. Connor! Pip called after him, disentangling herself from her sleeping bag. She grabbed the torch out of a dumbfounded aunt's hand and took off after her friend into the trees. Connor, wait! Shut in on all sides by black spidery shadows, snatches of lit trees jumped out at Pip as the torch shook in her hands, and her feet pounded the mud. Drops of rain hung in the beam. Connor! She screamed again, chasing the only sign of him up ahead, a vein of torchlight through the stifling darkness. Behind her, she heard more feet crashing through the forest, someone shouting her name, one of the girls screaming. A stitch was already starting to split in her side as she tore on, the adrenaline swallowing any last dregs of beer that might have dulled her. She was sharp and she was ready. Pip! Someone shouted in her ear. Ant had caught up with her, the torch on his phone guiding his feet through the trees. Where's Con? He panted. There was no air left in her. She pointed at the flickering light ahead, and Ant overtook her. And still there was the sound of feet behind her. She tried to look around, but could only see a pinpoint of growing white light. She faced forwards, a flash from her torch threw two hunched figures at her. Wait, what? Is this the wrong order? No, it's not. Okay. Just making sure I'm not in the wrong order. That would be really fucking disgraceful. And still there was the sound of feet behind her. She tried to look around, but could only see a pinpoint of growing white light. She faced towards, and a flash from her torch threw two hunched figures at her. She swerved and fell to her knees to avoid crashing into them. Pip, you okay? Anne said breathlessly, offering his hand. Yeah. She sucked at the humid air, a cramp now twisting into her chest and gut. Connor! What the hell? I lost him, Connor gasped, his head by his knees. I think I lost him a while back. It was a man? Did you see him? Pip asked. Connor shook his head. No, I didn't see it was a man, but it had to be, right? I only saw that they were wearing a dark hood. Whoever it was ducked out of the way while my torch was down, and I stupidly kept following the same path. Stupidly chased him in the first place, Pip said angrily. By yourself. Obviously, Connor said. Some pervert in the woods at midnight, watching us and probably touching himself. Wanted to beat the crap out of him. That was needlessly dangerous, she said. What were you trying to prove? There was a flash of white in Pip's periphery, and Zack emerged, pulling up just before he collided with her and Ant. What the hell? Was all he said. Then they heard the scream. Shit, Zach said, turning on his heels and sprinting back the way he'd just come. Kara! Lauren! Pip shouted, gripping her torch and following Zach, the others beside her, through the dark trees again, her nightmare fingers catching her hair, her stitch ripping deeper with each step. Half a minute later, they found Zach using his phone to light up where the two girls stood together, arm in arm, Lauren in tears. What happened? Pip said, wrapping her arms around them both, all shivering, even though the night was warm. Why did you scream? Because we got lost and the door smashed and we were drunk, Kara said. Why didn't you stay in the marquee? Connor said. Because you all left us, Lauren cried. Okay, Pip said. We've all overreacted a bit. Everything's fine. We just need to head back to the marquee. They've run off now, whoever it was, and there are 6 of us, okay? We're all fine. She wiped the tears from Lauren's chin. It took them almost 15 minutes, even with the torches, to find their way back to the marquee. The woods were a different planet at night. They even had to use the map app on Zach's phone to see how far they were from the road. Their steps quickened when they caught sight of distant snatches of white canvas between the trunks and the soft yellow glow of the battery lanterns. No one spoke much as they did a speedy cleanup of the empty drink cans and food packets into a bin bag, clearing space for their sleeping bags. They dropped all the sides of the marquee, save within its 4 white canvas walls, their only view of the trees distorted through the mock plastic sheet windows. The boys were already starting to joke about their midnight sprint through the trees. Lauren wasn't ready for jokes yet. Pip moved Lauren's sleeping bag between hers and Kara's and helped her into it when she could no longer bear to watch her drunkenly fumble with the zip. I'm guessing the Ouija board then, Anne said. Think we've had enough scares, said Pip. She sat next to Kara for a while, forcing water down her friend's throat while she distracted her by talking idly about the fall of Rome. Lauren was already asleep, Zach too on the other side of the marquee. When Kara's eyelids began to wilt lower with each blink, Pip crept back to her own sleeping bag. She saw that Aunt and Connor were still awake and whispering, but she was ready for sleep, or at least to lie down and hope for sleep. As she slid her legs into her bag, something crinkled against her right foot. She pulled her knees up to her chest and reached inside, her fingers closing around a piece of paper. Must have been a food packet that fell inside. She pulled it out. It wasn't. It was a clean white piece of printer paper folded in half. She unfolded the paper, eyes skipping across it. In a large, formal font printed across the page were the words, "Stop digging, Pippa." She dropped it, eyes following as it fell open. Her breath time-traveling, back to running in the dark, snapshots of the tree in the flashing torchlight. Disbelief, stale to fear. 5 seconds there, and the feeling crisped at the edges, burning into anger. What the hell, she said, picking up the note and storming over to the boys. Shh, one of them said. The girls are asleep. Do you think this is funny? Pip said, looking down at them as she brandished the folded note. You're unbelievable. What are you talking about? Anne squinted at her. This note you left me. I didn't leave you a note, he said, reaching up for it. Pip pulled away. You expect me to believe that? She said. Was this whole stranger in the woods thing a setup too? Part of your joke? Who was it? Your friend George? No, Pip, Anne said, staring up at her. Honestly, don't know what you're talking about. What does the note say? Save me the innocent act, she said. Connor, care to add anything? Pip, you think I would have chased that pervert so hard if it was just a bloody prank? We didn't plan anything, I promise. You're saying neither of you left me this note. They both nodded. You're full of shit, she said, turning back to the girl's side of the marquee. Honestly, Pip, we didn't, Connor said. Pip ignored him, clambering into her sleeping bag and making more noise about it than was necessary. She laid down, using her scrunched-up jumper as a pillow, the note left open on the ground sheet beside her. She turned to watch it, ignoring 4 more whispered pips from Aunt and Connor. Pip was the last one awake. She could tell by the breathing. Alone in wakefulness. From the ashes of her anger, a new creature was born, creating itself from the cinders and dust. A feeling that fell between terror and doubts, between chaos and logic. She said the words in her head so many times that they became rubbery and foreign sounding. Stop digging, Pippa. It couldn't be. It was just a cruel joke. Just a joke. She couldn't look away from the note, her eyes sleeplessly tracing back and forward over the curves of the black printed letters. And the forest, in the dead of the night, was alive around her. Crackling twigs, wing beats through trees, and screams. Fox or deer, she couldn't tell, but they shrieked and cried, and it was and wasn't Andy Bell, screaming through the crust of time. Stop digging, Pippa. So, how do we like this one, people? Can somebody tell Des to unmute so we can get on with picking for the next book for book club? Because I would love to do that. Or does anybody else want to suggest things? Where are my girlies? My girlies in the chat. Before Morton says it, no, we're not gonna read the Holy Bible. Are Emily and Des with you, Dom? Tell them to they have to come in. And Max too. Max is also allowed to decide stuff. Hello. Welcome back. I was just wondering if you have any suggestions suggestions for book club this month. Because I don't want to decide on 2 things by myself. That's kind of sad, you know? Anything we want to read? I was about to say Fourth Wing, yeah. Yeah. And maybe put back the When the Moon Hatched. Because Emily really wanted to read When the Moon Hatched. Hello! I want to put in When the Moon Hatched because you wanted that last month. I mean, those are 2 great options. When the Moon Hatched and Fourth Wing are both amazing options. I would love either, to be honest. Does anybody else have a suggestion? Or does anybody else want to join the book club? Because I would love that, you know? Like, those seem like 2 amazing options to me. I wanted to read Fourth Wing for a while. Morton, I just said no to the Holy Bible before you even said it. No Holy Bible for you, sir. 9. Only if you read it with us. Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, we can just go with Fourth Wing and When the Moon Hatched. I feel like 2 books are... Like, if it's only 2 books, that's beautiful. I would have loved it to be more, but let's hope that next month we can get a few more people in. Easy choice. Yeah, same. Oh, bro, Morton, come on now. Are you volunteering as a tribute to show them off on stream? The positions, I mean? No, I think you are. So, we have Fourth Wing and When the Moon Hatched. I like that. I like those choices. T will be ecstatic when she hears we're going to be maybe reading Fourth Wing, because she has been obsessed with Fourth Wing. So I already know where her loyalties are going to lie, you know? Yeah. This concludes today's book stream then. Kinda sad I have not prepared more because I would like to yap more with you. But that's all I got, folks. And I'm really excited to do the next one already. I mean, that's Morton's reading level, right? The Itsy Bitsy Spider is basically Morton's reading level. The Itchy Bitchy Spider. Hi, Sarah! Welcome! You sadly missed most of the stream, but I will upload the WOT to it. We've had a few unhinged things going on. But it has been very fun, and one of your friends has been in, actually. Oh no! Oh, that sucks ass. I'm so sorry. What happened? Fuck. Oh, that sucks ass. I'm so sorry, Sarah. Ugh, I hate people that are not watching what's going on. It sucks. I was about to end stream, but I will text you on Discord, Sarah. Anyways, thank you thank you guys so much for coming by. It was really fun. I will try to get more, because I thought this was enough, like there were so many pages for this one. I will prepare more pages to read out to you guys for next stream, I promise. But with this, it's also really hard to like find the right balance of like what is too much and what is too little. Oh yeah, no, that's fair, Sarah. Don't worry about it. So I think it was just specifically with this book, it was hard to like not overdo the information part and not read out too much to you guys. But I will make it more next time. And I'm quite excited about it too. There are some very fun things I want to read, so I'm quite excited to get into it. Anyways, my lovely, lovely, lovely little beans, thank you so much for coming by. I hope you come over for next book stream again. It is on the 27th of August, since I was on holidays for the last book stream. And yeah, I will upload the VOD so everybody can watch it. And thank you so much for coming by. I appreciate you guys so much. I love you. Bye.